story, and investigations underway this morning after a fire destroyed an historical chapel in Nashville. Cuthbert Langley live on scene for us this morning. And Cuthbert, which chapel are we talking about?
Good morning, Amy. We're talking about the Mount Olivet Chapel right here off of Lebanon Pike, kind of in the East Nashville-ish area. It's been a chapel that really has been on the list of several preservationalists throughout the years trying to protect it. To put this into perspective of just how much damage there is, let's take a look at some pictures from the original. This is what it looked like before the fire. It was built between the late 1800s and early 1900s. Now, it hasn't been used for years, and preservationists have been fighting to keep this building around. It was actually on the list of one of the most endangered buildings just a few years ago, but unfortunately the flames last night were just too much for the building. Let's take a look at some of this video. You can see how large the smoke was last night, as well as the flames that were basically just taking over this building. It broke out around 9 o'clock last night, and while there were no injuries, thankfully to report, firefighters did say they had issues getting enough hoses up here because we're up on a long and winding road. And as we take a look at video from earlier this morning, this shows you that firefighters had to continue their fight. We're up on a hill, so the winds that were whipping up this morning, getting those embers going, started some hot spots around too. So firefighters were basically out here until about 5:30 this morning. And as we take a live look right now, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. In the middle of this building right here, you can see smoke coming up from the debris there, the charred wood. Really just not much left of this building. And you can, as we pan up too, you can see the roof there. Some of the shingles and the roof materials up there pretty much just look like they're shaking in the wind. There really is not much left at all. Truly devastating fire here. Now, the fire marshal is on scene. He's been out here for the last couple of hours, and now that it's daybreak, we are expecting to learn some more about what may have led up to this fire, because there was no electricity running into the building, and firefighters say it appears that nobody was around either. So still a mystery this morning, but we'll continue to closely follow these developments. But for now, we're live here on Lebanon Pike. I'm Cuthbert Langley, News Channel 5 HD.
All right, Cuthbert, thank you. Residents at the village of Boxmeer Condos in Green Hills trying to find what they can salvage after a blaze Saturday night. They spent yesterday, as you see, piling what was left of their belongings into trash bags and cars. Some of the units are a total loss because of fire and water damage. About 20 people displaced. The fire marshal is still investigating the cause of that fire.
And it looks like the body found in a state park over the weekend had been there for a while. On Friday, Dickson County officials said they found the body of a woman inside a vehicle at Montgomery Bell State Park. And now Sheriff Jeff Bledsoe says that woman may have been there for more than 3 months. He told the Dickson Herald that the woman could have been a guest who checked in at the Parks Inn in October. It's also believed she's from the Memphis area. A medical examiner is working to confirm an identity and a cause of death. 2 gunmen are still on the loose after a shooting that happened just before 9 Saturday night on Patricia Drive. A man says he was standing outside when he was approached by 2 men who opened fire. He was hit in the right leg and the left knee. As of right now, police don't have a motive for the shooting. The victim was taken to the hospital in stable condition.
They escaped from jail, but they're right back there now. Authorities say David Way and Dustin Skaggs are back in custody. Skaggs captured early yesterday. Way was picked up walking along the highway in Sevierville later in the afternoon. Both inmates had slipped out of their cells from the Sevier County Jail Annex late Friday night.
And an update for you this morning about a shooting that happened in Clarksville. 22-year-old Timothy Schaffner was arrested at a Walmart on Fort Campbell Boulevard in Clarksville over the weekend. Investigators say he was directly involved in a shooting last Tuesday on Landsinger Lane. In that shooting, 22-year-old Montrell Patterson was killed and 3 others were injured. Meanwhile, in Kentucky, a man has been charged with murder for shooting another man over a dice game. According to the Kentucky New Era, a grand jury has charged Quentin Quarles for killing Keith Ivory. Police say Quarles and Ivory got in a fight at a house on McHenry Street back in November. Quarles allegedly went to his car, got a gun, and shot Ivory. Quarles is being held in the Christian County Jail on a $1 million bond.
A professor at Austin Peay State University in some trouble this morning, according to the Montgomery County Jail records that we've obtained. Thomas Buttery was arrested Friday on domestic assault charges. He was released on a $500 bond. According to the school's website, Buttery is a professor with the Education Department. Details of his arrest have not yet been given out. A police dog is recovering this morning after being injured while chasing down a criminal. According to the Kentucky New Era, the canine known as Enzo was hurt Saturday night hunting this man in a junkyard. Police say the officer stopped a car, smelled marijuana inside. That's when Michael Long right there ran and hid in the junkyard. So when the dog, Enzo, was trying to get the man out from under that car, Enzo wound up hurting his left eye. Long's been charged with first-degree assault on a service animal, third-degree assault on a police officer evading arrest, burglary, and several other charges. Meantime, the police dog named Enzo has temporarily been removed from the service until he can heal up.
A verdict in the Vanderbilt rape case could be handed down as early as today.
I'm innocent, and I'm going to fight that to the very end.
That was Brandon Vandenberg back in November of 2013 when he sat down for an exclusive interview with News Channel 5 reporter Nick Barris. Then and now he maintains his innocence, but it's up to the jury to decide. This morning, the defense has one more witness to call, and closing arguments are expected soon after. We're going to have more on what to expect coming up a little bit later this morning. And later today, a meeting for the Metropolitan Transit Authority and Regional Transportation Authority. They're going to be talking about proposed improvements concerning system changes and new light services for certain locations. It is going to be happening at the West Police Precinct tonight at 6, and the public is invited to attend.